All right, we're cutting across to live visuals coming in from the UK. Keir Starmer is giving a press conference. Let's listen in.
Everyone is valued. Wealth and opportunity for all, not just the privileged few. And look at what we've achieved in just 2 years. An economy that is stronger, growing faster than our peers. Wages rising faster than inflation in every single month since we came to power. Investment secured, infrastructure being built. An end to austerity, with the fastest fall in NHS waiting lists for 17 years. The biggest improvement in rights for workers and renters in a generation. The biggest uplift in defence spending since the Cold War. Small boat crossings falling. Asylum hotels closing. Protecting young people from social media. And 500,000 children being lifted out of poverty because of the choices that I made. Our reputation in the world restored, with Britain once again standing up for decency, respect and the rule of law, securing trade deals, standing with Ukraine, standing up for our values and rebuilding our relationship with our allies in Europe. Change promised by a Labour government, change fought for by a Labour government, change delivered by a Labour government. But I know the question being asked now is not who was best placed to change the Labour Party, to take us into power and to begin the vital work of improving lives for millions of people. Those questions have been answered. The question my party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election. I have heard the answer of my parliamentary party to that question, and I accept that answer with good grace. Every decision I've taken has been about putting the country I love first. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party. I have spoken to His Majesty the King this morning to inform him of my decision. I will ask the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party to set out a timetable with nominations opening on the 9th of July and completed by the summer recess. In the case of a contest, this will ensure a new leader is in place before Parliament returns in September. I will remain in post as Prime Minister until the contest is complete, and I will do everything I can to ensure an orderly handover of power. I will also give my successor my full and unequivocal support, knowing that they will inherit a Britain that is far stronger and fairer than the one I inherited 2 years ago, better prepared for the challenges ahead and better able to ensure the Labour Party secures a second term in office. I want to thank all of those friends and colleagues who have been at my side for these past 6 years or so, for their incredible commitment, service and support. I want to thank the brilliant Number 10 staff and our country's extraordinary civil service who dedicate their lives to public service. And when I leave the biggest job in the country, I shall spend more time on the most important job, being the best husband I can to my fantastic wife Vic, who has been a rock by my side through good times and bad, and being the best dad I can to my beautiful children, who are my pride and my joy. Thank you very much.
That's the big development. Viewers, The UK Prime Minister has announced his resignation. He will resign as Prime Minister and leader of the Labour Party. He's set out a timetable for his way out. Nominations to start on the 9th of July. The National Executive of the Labour Party will set a timetable. Nominations will open on the 9th of July. Parliament will return till September. And that's the time till when Keir Starmer will hold the position as UK's Prime Minister. I will be Prime Minister till nominations are complete. Britain is stronger and fairer than where it was 2 years ago when Keir Starmer took office. 2 years into his term, Keir Starmer has resigned. This will now be, once the next Prime Minister takes place, the 5th Prime Minister to be in power in the UK in as many years. 7th in the last decade. Keir Starmer, speaking at 10 Downing Street in London, this is what he says, I quote here, "I have heard the answer to my parliamentary party. I accept the Labour Party's answer. I will resign as leader of the Labour Party." Quote unquote, Keir Starmer, the current UK Prime Minister. He has announced his resignation. Starmer said that he inherited the Labour Party that was politically, financially and morally bankrupt. Quote unquote. This is 2 years ago, 2024, when Keir Starmer took office. He says he was told time and time again that the party was finished, but says he proved those people wrong. He says he changed the party by ripping out the poison of anti-Semitism, restoring trust on the economy, defence and national security. But now, as reports had been suggesting, Keir Starmer has announced that he will amicably vacate his office. These are the latest developments coming in, viewers. Starmer thanks his quote-unquote fantastic wife, describing her as a rock. He also says he wants to be the best dad he can be to his beautiful children. He says every decision he has made in office has been about putting the country first. Keir Starmer resigns in a statement outside 10 Downing Street. That's the latest we're tracking for you that comes in from London. Starmer says he restored trust on economy and defence and he'll resign. Also mentions that entering 10 Downing Street in 2024 was the proudest moment of his life. There's already a number of names that are doing the rounds for who will be his next. Who will be next in line. And I'll give you the exact quotes as they've come in from the UK Prime Minister. These are visuals from just moments ago outside 10 Downing Street in London. Starmer confirmed a new Labour leader and Prime Minister will be in place by September. Till then, he will hold office. Keir Starmer said, I quote here, "Every decision I have taken has been about putting the country I love first. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party. I have spoken to His Majesty, the King, this morning to inform him of my decision. I will ask the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party with nominations opening on the 9th of July, as we mentioned earlier, and completed by the summer recess. In the case of a contest, this will ensure a new leader is in place before Parliament returns in September." So that's the timeline, viewers. 9th July nominations open. And there will be a new Prime Minister in the UK when Parliament resumes in September. I will remain in post as Prime Minister until the contest is complete, and I will do everything I can to ensure an orderly handover of power. Well, there are a lot of repercussions that are going to be in place soon after. I'll quickly cut across to my colleague Jyotsna, who's joining me from the newsroom. Jyotsna, give us more.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, Shivan, of course, this is a big news coming in. And of course, this was built up for a long time now. And we knew that Starmer was talking to his cabinet ministers and, of course, members to take a decision whether he deserves to be there or not. These statements were coming in, and now he has announced. And when you look at this, well, let's look at the of course, the statements coming in. So he said that he accepts with good grace that he is not best person to lead Labour into next election. So this has been building, and it's interesting because we heard statements from even the U.S. president saying that there were two issues that cater to why he should not be, he should not be the Prime Minister anymore, which includes immigration. So, of course, a lot of things were building up. And, of course, what people would be looking up would be who is the next candidate for it. And the next name that comes in is, of course, Andy Burnham that comes in. And even Andy Burnham, after he won the by-elections, became the ultimate candidate for, replacing him. It's not just the next Prime Minister, but also of course, the chief of the Labour Party. So, of course, we're going to have to, wait and see how it happens. Let's look at all the comments that came in from Starmer. He said that the question my party is asking now is whether I'm the best place to lead us into the next general election. I have heard the answer of my parliamentary party to that question, and I accept that answer with good grace. And, of course, he adds saying that every decision I've taken has been about putting the country I love first, and that is why I will resign as the leader of the Labour Party. Now, of course, we'll have to wait and see about the premiership right now, but as of now, he has stepped down as the leader of the Labour Party. He will be resigned, of course, we'll have to wait and see. So these are developments coming in. And, of course, when we talk about the next candidate, that's Andy Burnham. So that's, there were, of course, news about Burnham, who could ascend to the premiership without a leadership contest, with some even calling it a coronation. So, of course, these are things that are coming in, and we'll have to wait and see how it goes.
Well, Starmer says that he accepts with good grace that he is not best person to lead Labour into the next election. I'm really reading it out. These were the statements that were made just moments earlier. The question my party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election. And clearly, he's now resigned. Now, this has been in the news. Jyotsna, if you can give us a timeline of what happens from now until September.
Of course, the elections are coming in, so we'll have to wait and see the parliament. So as of now, what happens is so let me just get you some details about how, so there were news about him not suddenly he will be taking his time and closely taking his step down in a controlled and responsible manner. This, of course, echoed when he was also talking about this in this address of his. So we'll have to wait and see if Andy Burnham also gets up and he tries to take part in, of course, becoming the next candidate. He needs some. He was also taking the oath as the member of parliament today, and so we're going to have to wait and see if he has enough support to now contest for the premiership. So we're going to have to wait and see for that, Shivan.
Jyotsna, thanks so much for getting us the latest on that. I'll now cut across to our guest who's joined us, Dr. Volker Stanzel, joining us from Berlin. He's a former German ambassador to China and a senior distinguished fellow at SWP, German Institute for International and Security Affairs. Dr. Stanzel, thanks so much. Big news coming in from UK. Of course, this was expected. There is a timeline he set out, seems highly amicable. What's next for the UK, given the number of prime ministers that have changed without completing their terms in the last 5 years itself?
Well, the most interesting point, I think, is the question whether all the rivals that have held out their names in the past few weeks or even months, whether they will all stand for competition now. I think, they changed their prime ministers quickly, but the real problem in the end was Starmer himself, who obviously did not want to step down. He didn't see a reason to do that, but his potential successors were just too many, and the competition was too severe. I think we will hear a lot of names very soon now, and then we will see whether they propose different policies. Because the reason why the popularity of Labour went downhill since a few weeks and even months is that people were not satisfied with the policies pursued by Labour. And will any other Labour leader be able to offer a real alternative acceptable by the people? I think it's a grave question.
All right, let's wait and watch. Clearly, there is a lot to be decided between now, 9th of July, till September.